everybody, it's your boy Malik back with another video for y'all today. Basically what I got right here is a dealership loaner car. And it's a 2019 Ford Mustang Ecoboost with a 10-speed automatic daggum transmission. I tell you what, basically, if y'all don't know, which you don't because I haven't told you, my silver Mustang Ecoboost was hit by an 18-wheeler about 2 weeks ago. On yesterday was 2 weeks ago. Yesterday was 2 weeks ago. All right, so basically the dealership loaned me the same dealership I bought my car from. They basically kind of loaned me a loaner car. Yeah, and I was literally in and out of there within like 10 minutes. So I want to give a special thanks and shout out to Buster Miles Ford of Heflin, Alabama, partnered with Buster Miles Chevrolet of Heflin, Alabama. All right, so yeah, here what we got is a 2019 Ford Mustang Ecoboost. This is, I believe, the most basic Ecoboost Mustang that you can possibly purchase and still look good in. So yeah, this color is known as Kona Blue. All right, and yes, I washed it up, I shined it up because we don't, you know, a Mustang is only pretty if it's clean, in my opinion. But I'm going to point out a few differences with this car, the 2018, 2019 models versus the 2015 to 2017 models. So it may not seem like they done very much, but when you're a car enthusiast like me, you can see those little differences aside from just the front end changes. They changed some stuff on these 2018 and 2019 Mustangs that the 2015 or 16, 17 Mustangs, it's not that they didn't have certain options, it's that you had to go up in the trim levels to get it. Now they're offering a lot of things on more basic models. And they're also offering things on the entire 18 and 19 lineup that they were not offering at all on previous model Mustangs. So yeah, let's dive in. They did update the front end of the Mustang. It's sharper. It looks kind of like a baby shark. No, it doesn't. I'm not even gonna go there. But it looks more pointy. You know, I kind of think this little body scoop right here, underbody scoop, is slightly modified. I know they have that on the 2015 to 2017, but I think they updated it to match this front end, kind of where the, you know, it points out a little bit more, and you kind of get these little air scoops right there, and it kind of looks like a you know, it looks sharp right there. The turn signals, the headlights, they almost look like an eyeball. It kind of looks like a camera's eye or something, and the headlights are a little bit sharper, and the turn signals are LEDs. And let me tell you something, I don't know if you've ever looked at one of these at nighttime or when the sun's done gone down. Even in the daytime, you just automatically know it's an 18 to 19 Mustang, even from a distance, because of just how bright the turn signals are on the 18 and 19 Mustangs. They're pretty dang bright. Now, we do still have those famous active grille shutters, and in fact they even have them on GT Mustangs now. Yes, even the GT Mustangs have the active grille shutters. On certain models they have it. I think the performance packages, it's either the performance packages do or don't have them. I don't think the performance packages have the active grille shutters. This one has hood scoops. I don't think they're actually functional, but they do look pretty dang good. And let me just go on to the back of the 2019 Mustang. This little scoop right here on the back, this little bumper, you didn't get this black part on the 2015 to 2017 Mustangs unless you got the premium model. So if you got like my silver Mustang, it's not a premium, it's a performance package, but it's not a 2017 Mustang Ecoboost premium performance package. It's just the 2017 Ford Mustang Ecoboost performance package. But this little scoop right here is it's black, and you get it on even the most basic models. Previously, you had to get the premium models to get that. Otherwise, it was body color matching. It matched the body color of the car. You do still get dual exhaust, and I do not believe the reverse light is LED on these models. Now, the reverse camera looks a little bit different from the inside. I don't know if they updated the lens or the quality is just a little bit better. Now, of course, we still do get our capless fuel door, and we do note that even though this is a basic Mustang Ecoboost, we don't put 87 gas in these things. It can take it, but you do understand that you are forcing these engines are turbocharged. So Ecoboosts are turbocharged. You don't want your turbocharged engine, whether it's a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, whatever. If it's got a turbocharger or a supercharger, you don't need to be running the cheapest grade of gas. I would honestly say, oh, I just noticed this right here. It's got a little horse right there. That is not something that was on the previous model Mustangs or the 2015. It's got a little horse right there on the headlights. They want you to know that this is a Mustang. I tell you what. But yeah, like I was saying, let's try to at the very least, put 89. I would say 93. I run 93 in mine all day long. I run 89 in my older Mustang, the red one. But yeah, let's try to treat these newer cars with a little bit more respect. Not just washing it and oil changing. Let's try to treat the internals a little bit better. Let's put better gas in it, let's not burn the cheapest grade of gas that's there. And then we also have the little shark fin right here. They don't put antennas on the cars no more. I don't think that necessarily means satellite radio. I just think that's a upgraded antenna is what that is. Now, Ford's new motto is built Ford proud and built with pride. Now, of course, previously it was built Ford tough, but now it's built Ford proud. So that's another thing that just applies to all Fords. Now, one thing I will say is fingerprints show up very good on this Kona blue color. Let's go ahead and step inside. We still do get our smart key access system on the Mustang, but the key has been updated. It does not, let me pull out my pocket here. The key does not look the same as the 2015 to 2017 Mustangs. It looks a little bit different. And of course, you step up in the line. It's on this one of these buttons right here would have a remote start option, which this one does not have it available. But if you do opt for the automatic transmission, you do get remote start on the Mustang. I think that is the first time remote start has ever been available on a Mustang. It's 2018, 2019. The interior is pretty much the same, but there are some very slight differences in the controls and where they're located and the layout of the screen. And a couple buttons they've kind of been slightly changed. Like the picture on the buttons have been slightly changed. I'm not going to go in full detail of everything because everything from here down is exactly the same as my 2017 Mustang. So if you like to watch that video, it is on my YouTube channel. But the first thing I do want to point out is this one does not have fog lights. Your fog light button would be right here on my on the 2015 to 2017 Mustangs, but that doesn't mean that they're not available with fog lights. See, speaking of fog lights, the 2018-19 Mustangs, the fog lights, they no longer sit down here. They sit right about in there. So it's going to be like a little square right here with a little projector beam right there. Now this one doesn't have it because it is a more basic model, but your fog lights sit right there. And they like I said, they still control the same way that you would normally control them, kind of like in my other video of my 2017 Mustang. But instead, you have your dimmer and your brightness for your instrument cluster right here. But everything else is pretty much the same. Headlights, daytime running lights, automatic, everything. All right, those differences that I was talking about, lie primarily kind of on the steering wheel. If you'll look right here, I'm gonna go ahead and start because I'm about to burn up in here. Now this one, being that it's automatic, you put your foot on the brake and you push the button to start. There's no clutch, which is a sad day in heaven for no clutch. But here's what we got going on here. Right here, these buttons on this side, like the volume controls, are on this side in the 2015, 2017 Mustangs. And these right here that you use to adjust the menu and stuff, like right here on your gauge, right in between your gauges, yeah, these are on that side. So that's one thing I've had to adjust to, just because I own a 2015 to 2017, and they have loaned me a 2018, 2019 model. I want to say this one is a 19, but they haven't changed anything from 2018 to 2019. But that's basically it. Now, one thing that they do offer, even on lower basic models, now this, I think it's a step up from this model. So, or you can option it out, is the 2018, 2019 Mustangs, they have what's called adaptive cruise control. So you'll see like an arrow up and down somewhere in here, and you can adjust. There's a radar in the front of the car that basically maintains a certain distance between you and the car that's in front of you and automatically brakes for you. So you set cruise control at a certain speed just like you normally would in any other car, and you kind of let the computer of the car not necessarily take over, but do the coasting and speeding up and following distance. That's the biggest thing, is following distance, you know, because it's kind of hard to tell when you've been driving for a long time how close you're getting to a car in front of you, and the car will basically maintain that distance. So you have like a certain amount of parameter, like I think it's 1 to 4 bars. If you set it on the lowest bar, you're basically half a car length between the car behind you. You set on the highest bar, I think you're anywhere from a full car to a car and a half or 2 car lengths between the nose of your car and the car that's in front of you. So that's one thing that the 2019 Mustangs do have. Now this one does have paddle shifters. So you do have, let me see, I'm over here trying to adjust the menu. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Another thing is this model particularly does not have the boost gauges. So in the place of my gauges is a 3rd vent right here. I still have 2 vents in mine, but there will be boost gauges right here. So there's an oil pressure gauge, and then there's a turbocharger boost gauge in vacuum and positive pressure boost. Now, another thing is the layout of this little screen right here is a little bit different. It kind of looks a little bit more basic to me. It doesn't have as much oomph as the 2015, 2017 Mustangs have. Now, one thing that has been, you can actually turn the screen all the way off on this model. That's what turning the screen all the way off and then turn it back on. You still have the, well, I do have the radio muted. Woo. All right. The audio system in this car sounds pretty dang good, and it doesn't have a lot of static. You know, antennas have a lot of static, but I do believe that you can use mobile apps on this one. So, you know, of course you have to connect the phone to it, but I won't go too far in detail with that because everything's pretty much the same as it is in mine. Now, you do actually have a mute button right here in the middle of the volume. I don't think mine has a mute button, and I can't even remember because I hadn't drove the car in so dang long. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, you do, to basically the way this thing works is, I don't know how automatic transmission works. All I know is it doesn't shift when I want it to shift. And it makes it a little bit more annoying to me that it has 10 freaking gears. Like, literally, I was going 20 miles an hour and the transmission was in 4th gear. How could I tell? Because if you're in drive, you don't necessarily, basically what you have here is park, reverse, neutral, drive, and S, which stands for, I'm sure, sport mode or shift, one or the other. I can't remember which one it is. But either way, it allows you to be able to shift. Now, you can still override that even if you have it in drive. So you get your gear indication right there, but yet you can still, hold on, let me try to get this through. You can still override the shifter. So if you see like right now I pressed one of the paddle shifters, I can still override it even though I'm in drive. Now, of course, from a standstill, it won't let you take off in any higher of a gear than 2nd gear. But, and you can actually downshift an engine brake it, but I think it has an RPM rev limit of like 4,000 or 5,000 where it won't let you drop another gear. So like if you're doing 60 and you try to drop down to 4th or 3rd, it might not let you do it because the RPMs are going to be too high because of that gear ratio. Now, me specifically, this is just me talking here. I don't care that even though I put the transmission in park, I still use this brake, okay? Because I just don't like that bouncing back and forth after you let your foot off the brake. I don't like automatic transmissions already as it is, but I gotta have some indication that I am still in a stick shift car. The seats in this car are actually slightly redesigned. They're a little bit different than in this model than they are in mine. Now, as far as the looks, they're the same, but the art, like it actually has the word Mustang right there, and it has these little lines or pathways right here all the way down. I think that's about the only difference. The back seat remains the same. Everything looks the same. You still have your, yeah, that's basically about it. So yeah, that's the 2019 Mustang for you. Another thing I do want to point out is with that 10-speed automatic transmission, let me just tell you the fuel economy difference with a 10-speed versus a 6-speed, whether that's a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic. Here I am driving down the road, basically moving with the flow of traffic. So interstate's usually 75 to 80, all right? This car was getting 37 miles to the gallon at 80 miles an hour. Now that's on flat land. Now I think it started averaging out at about 36, but with a 6-speed manual, this is how it works. You have to understand gear ratios. Basically, the shorter of a gear ratio you have, the higher your RPMs are going to be spinning at certain speeds. So if you have long gears, you can do 80 miles an hour and not be spinning anywhere higher than 2,500 RPMs. But if you got short gears, you'll be spinning close to 3,000 at such a speed as 80 miles an hour, even in your highest gear. But see, for this model right here with 10 gears, and sometimes it will even skip gears. Like it may go from 3rd to 5th. You know what I'm saying? Because you have so many gears. Yet the reason for it done that is because not just for fuel economy, but it keeps the engine in its torque band. Like, you know, every engine has a torque band, but if you can keep it in that torque band, you shifting gears, you're able to go faster without dropping from 4,000 to, you know, say you're just hauling on it, you're just giving it the juice. All right, you get to 5,000 RPMs and that thing shifts. It's not going to drop back down to 3,000. It's probably going to drop down to about 4 or 4,500. It's staying in that torque band. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's losing torque in between gear changes. So, like, this car, I almost feel like it's just as fast as mine with a tune, an intake, a blow-off valve, and an exhaust. Stock. This car with a tune, these EcoBoost 10 speeds with a tune, I'm sure would blow my Mustang out the water. Exact same engine. Come from the exact same assembly plant. Flat Rock, Michigan, came from the exact same name, Ford Motor Company. You know, same computer under the hood. I mean, I think that for 2018 they kind of tuned it up. Like for 2015, 2017, it came from the factory with 310 horsepower and 320 foot-pounds of torque. But for 2019, 18-19, they upped the torque to 350 already, stock from the factory. So I think they tuned it just a little bit differently. So it moves off the line a lot faster. But now, of course, it's still a 4-cylinder, you know, so you can always tune it on top of what the factory has done. But like I said, this thing was getting MPGs. Like right now in the city, I'm getting 23.6, almost 24. The previous models would get like 21. So now that's still not going to persuade me to buy automatic transmission. I'm not going to go to a dealership, a Ford dealership, and sign my name on an automatic transmission Mustang. You have lost your mind. I don't care if it's got 20 gears. I don't care if it ain't got but 3 gears. I don't care if they put a continuously variable transmission in it. I want my Mustang with 3 pedals. I want my Mustang with an H pattern gear shift, okay? I want my Mustang with a manual transmission. It's that simple, you know? I mean, I can't. It takes the fun out of it. Now, it's interesting. I will say that it's very interesting how this thing changes gears. I mean, you can literally just be going through a parking lot doing maybe 10 miles an hour. You'll be in 3rd gear. I mean, literally. I mean, it'll go straight from... Now, granted, when you're slowing down, you can actually feel it dropping gears. You can actually, it's not necessarily dropping it at the rate where it starts engine braking while you're braking, but you can kind of feel the transition. Like, you can kind of feel that clunk. Like, it's not rough, but me, because I pay attention to stuff like that, I can feel it when it's downshifting gears. But it's not rough. It's a smooth transmission. But if you get to a certain speed where it's trying to change a gear to go down, and you put your foot back on the gas, it's gonna jerk your neck. It's torquey. It's very torquey, and I'll kind of demonstrate that when I'm driving here in a second. So let me shut up and let you kind of get a ear witness of how this thing works. It's kind of like a little computer, but you know, it's different. It's very different already from somebody that's has driven a stick shift since he was 12 years old. I can't see it no other way. But yeah, let's do this. All right, so let's you know what? If you don't know how to drive an automatic transmission, I'm gonna teach you how to do it right now. Put your foot on the brake, push the button to start. That simple. There's no clutch. All right, let's hear this thing. I'm gonna turn the air down so you can kind of hear the car. I'm gonna put it in drive and release the emergency brake, and I'm just gonna take my foot off the brake. We are now moving. We're moving. No, the car does not steer for you. That's just because when you start moving, like this car has an electronic power steering in it, so electrically assisted power steering. Of course, you can still change the driving modes and everything. Like, I think it just went to third gear. I kind of felt it. You get to 10 miles an hour, the doors automatically lock. That was that click noise you just heard. That even applies to 2015 Mustangs and probably generations before that. But I don't really want to get on it because my phone's probably going to fall off the window. So I'm going to proceed with caution here, as the speed limit on this particular road that I'm on is 12 miles an hour. All right, 12, okay? You heard right, it's 12. Of course, I really don't care because torque! Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to show me your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. Yeah. Once I get off this little stretch right here, we'll kind of... Now, you can actually hear the turbocharger. Even in this one, it makes kind of a wheezing noise. Now, this is a more representational video of a straight from the dealership stock Mustang Ecoboost of what it would sound like when you buy it off the lot. Now, mine was basically modified, but not stock. It was modified. It is modified. This is what you're gonna get from the factory. You're not gonna get any fancy blow-off valves. The blow-off valve on this car is electronically controlled. Even 2015 to 2017 and 18, 19, the blow-off valve is electronically controlled. So if you're looking for that, you're gonna have to go aftermarket to go looking for parts like that, because I recommend American Muscle, by the way. But let me just touch the minus button. This car is in 5th gear at 25 miles an hour. So the way that you can figure out what gear it's in is, I'm gonna let the pedestrian go. She's not even walking across the crosswalk. She's like 10 feet away from the crosswalk. I will not hit her. Today is Sunday. I'm feeling a little more godly today. I'm gonna wave my hand. Keep right to Leon Smith Parkway. All right, so I'm gonna yield right here because there's a Cadillac Escalade flying around this roundabout. At the roundabout, take the second exit to Leon Smith Parkway. But yeah, you can kind of hear it a little bit. I'm not gonna get on it, but I'm gonna kind of let you know. Basically, from the time I put my foot on the gas until I hit 60 miles an hour, I'm gonna let you know just how fast this car is, and I'm not gonna exaggerate either. Straight from the factory. All right, I'm gonna let this Range Rover Evoque pass me, and they're in the turning lane now. I'm going to turn right on Leon Smith Parkway. All right. I can't go from, you know what, I'll brake torque it. All right. Oh, 60, just that fast. That is a 4-cylinder. Okay. Woo, my gosh. I read that wrong. That was 70. You better watch out. All right, these 4-cylinders are taking over the game. Now, I'm speaking in terms of Ford. Now, I don't know about Chevrolet. Chevrolet can't do a 4-cylinder right. In fact, Chevrolet put a 4-cylinder in the Silverado, and it got worse gas mileage than the V8. That doesn't apply to Ford. Ford knows what they're doing. Now, of course, you know, Chevrolet also has a 4-cylinder Camaro. It doesn't even break 300 horsepower. This car right here, Ford Motor Company knows how to make smaller displacement, make more horsepower, more torque, get better gas mileage, not require as much maintenance. Now, granted, you don't dog it like you would a naturally aspirated V8, okay? And granted, you learn how to accept the fact that you're not going to make a 4-cylinder sound like a V8. You'll be fine. Again, Ford Motor Company knows how to make smaller displacement, make more power, more torque, get better gas mileage, smoother while accelerating, not blow up in the RPM range. So right now I am cruising at about 50 miles an hour, and see, I'm over here trying to figure out which buttons I'm looking at again. All right, I'm gonna go to trip and fuel, and right now, of course, I just got on it. Now, it kind of averages it out based on how you've driven, so it doesn't give you an instantaneous miles per gallon rating. Of course, you can hold the OK button down and reset it. 50 miles an hour, I'm getting 31.7. I'm kind of going up a hill right now, and let me just see what gear it's in. It's in 10th gear at 50 miles an hour, so I'm getting 31.5 miles to the gallon. 31.7, 32, 32.5, 33, 34, 36. Now, granted, it's not accelerating right now. It's kind of coasting. But 41.6, 43.5 miles to the gallon right now at 50 miles an hour. Now, if you maintain driving at 50 miles an hour, you're going to get about 37 miles. In fact, if you don't believe me, I'm going to snatch the camera right now. I'm going to snatch the camera. Again, 50 miles an hour, the speed limit's pretty close to 50 miles an hour, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit and kind of let you see that. All right, I'm even gonna accelerate to 55. All right, this is a Mustang. A Mustang has never been known to achieve such gas mileage as this, and be able to maintain it for a certain amount of time, longer than the time it took you to reset it. Of course, it's going down because I'm climbing a hill, kind of going up an incline right now. But this is the gas mileage that you can get out of a Ford Mustang Ecoboost. You maintain this speed with a 10-speed automatic transmission, and you don't hawk it, because I'm gonna tell you what happens as soon as you put your foot on the gas. You put your foot on. It's on cruise control right now, but if you floor it, you see how that just kills your gas mileage? More than 10 miles per gallon. You take your foot off the gas, it goes back up. But that's one thing to take into consideration. You know what that means, right? That means if you get a Mustang GT, you're going to be getting about 25 miles to the gallon, 20 miles to the gallon, so long as you opt for the 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, I'm not going to persuade you to get a 10-speed automatic transmission. And if you ask me what type of Mustang should you get, I'm going to tell you whatever manual transmission that they're offering. Sacrifice the gas mileage for the smile that's going to be on your face. Hey, we got 2 Toyota Tundras here. But yeah, that's 41.4 miles to the gallon at 55 miles an hour, or it's climbing back up to 55 miles an hour. Yeah, that is the Ford Mustang Ecoboost. Comparison and video shoot of the 2018-2019 Ford Mustang Ecoboost 10-speed automatic transmission. Y'all tell me what else y'all like to see. If y'all would like to see a side-by-side comparison, just let me know so I can go ahead and get that in. Try to get in the works of making that video, but y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Like this video, share this video. If you're in the market for a Ford Mustang and you are in the Oxford, Anniston, Alabama, Jacksonville State University Highway, Alexandria, Jacksonville Highway, Alexandria Road, Alexandria, Wellington Road, Piedmont Gaston Highway, East Bogo Road. I tell you what, if you're in that area and you're looking for a Mustang, go on down to Buster Miles Ford of Heflin, Alabama. Ask for Miss Juliana Gaines. Tell them that you were recommended to go there by Takaria's Wheels or Malik or TC. And I'll get a little bit of change in my pocket, if you know what I'm saying. Now this one last thing, this vehicle does sit on two 35, 55, 17s. It's got a pretty big sidewall. That's for the more basic models. But yeah, y'all make sure to subscribe to me.